All right. So after a couple of technical difficulties, I believe the microphone works. We're a little bit lagging, so we're good to go. Awesome. So sorry about that for the guys that are live streaming today. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. We'll figure it out, but we couldn't figure out how to get to the live stream to start that we programmed from my phone. But we did it from the computer, thanks to my team of technical experts. So today, we're going to start talking about closing online leads and really why the first 30 seconds is super, super, super important for your conversion ratio. I know I see a lot of new kind of faces, like people that have just started with us. I know Anna has closed online leads, has some success with it. So what we really want to try to focus on is what can we do in the process to put ourselves in the best position to close. Good leads, bad leads, whatever, we're to get through that. But what can we always do consistently, no matter if it's a good lead or bad lead? So without further ado, let's get started. So who remembers stats class in college or high school? You guys know probability. Anyone here play chess or gamble? Fantasy football, fantasy, all that kind of stuff. So it all really comes down to probability. And with chess or anything like that, you need to have a strategy and you need to know how you're going to approach those clients. And a lot of times when people struggle with online leads, whether they're at Home 61 or at another brokerage, or just working with like Zillow leads or Realtor.com leads or Boomtown or whatever, they struggle because they don't necessarily have an approach or have a strategy. And it goes to online leads and also with like just real estate in general as a career. A lot of times we don't understand that we're actually starting our own business. It's our own small business. And so we don't, that's why I had everyone here try to do a business plan or start thinking like a business, because if you don't have the strategy or your approach to what you're going to be doing, you're going to ultimately fail. Because a failure to plan is planning to fail. I don't know who said that, but someone did. Awesome. And speaking about failure, I don't mean to be negative or, rain on your parade, but you're going to fail like 99.5% of the time. You're going to fail 99.5% of the time with online leads. That's the national or world average. It's essentially what online leads close at overall. If we take from Real Geeks or Bold Leads, Zillow, Redfin, Home 61, Realtor.com, Trulia, Market Leader, and there's many other companies too. We throw them together and we figure out what the average is. It's about 0.5% is what you guys are going to be closing. So this is how much you're going to fail. And like people say, oh, baseball's hard because if you're a good baseball player, you fail 70% of the time. Well, good luck. You're going to be failing like 100% of the time almost. So really, really hard. But what have we done at Home 61? Because our conversion ratio is 25% to 20% monthly consistently on online leads. So what do we do? What is our strategy and how do we close online leads compared to the average user that goes to Zillow, Redfin, or Boomtown, or Trulia? And trust me, our leads are difficult too. They're better than Zillow and those other ones, but they're still a pain in the butt, I know. So how do we approach it? How do we stay positive? How do we move forward? Because at the end of the day, they're so hard, right? Like, they're not loyal, right? Like, look, this is you, and this is your lead, and they're always looking for something else, or they're talking to another. Like, we have to assume that this is our lead, and Johnny said it, right? I don't think Johnny said it, but he's on the picture. They're not going to be loyal to you. There's nothing you can really do, and we have to understand that. Once we accept that they're not going to be loyal to us, once we accept that that's their personality, that's what they're going to be, and we know their behavior, then we can actually make a difference, right? Because we can all relate to this. How many times have you thought that? I know Adam, James, how many times have they just come to us in like our over 2 years here, like, this is the common thing. The leads are weak, the leads are weak, the leads are weak. The second part of this and the response in this movie was, no, you're weak or you're shit or you can't close, something like that. But it's really not that. It's really that you're not shit, you're great, you're awesome. The leads are weak or not weak, it doesn't really matter. But what is weak and what is terrible is our strategy and our approach and not being focused on what we can achieve when closing this. So I want to talk about the story of the lead. Let's all put ourselves in the shoes. I don't know if anyone's seen this really funny documentary, a show series on Netflix. I believe it's Canadian. We have a Canadian in the house. It's about this Korean Canadian like immigrant family, and it's pretty funny. But we're gonna say that they're the Kims, right? This is our client. We're meeting the Kims, right? So let's put ourselves in a lead's shoes. And what do you guys think a lead wants? At the end of the day, a sales lead, what do they want? Right. They want to find a home. They want to buy a house. This house is not my end. It's really nice, but that's what they want to do, right? So they go online. Nowadays, everyone goes online. And they go on all these websites. Some of these websites don't apply, but they go on Redfin, they go on Zillow, they go on Realtor.com, they go on Boomtown, they go on all these different websites, and they can't get an agent. No one responds to them. I call. How many before you were agents and you had to move or something, whether it's a rental sale, you tried to call people, no one would pick up, or they said they would call you back, they didn't call you back, and no one was responsive to you, right? So that is, they're like, are you joking me? So then something happens, right? Mr. and Mrs. Kim get on the phone with you at Home 61. They finally are here. Now you're on the phone with Home 61, as a Home 61 agent. You're on the phone with Mr. and Mrs. Kim. They're super excited to talk. They want to talk about the house. You're finally transferred. We qualified them. Everything's great. And then you say this. Call gets transferred. Hi, hello, hi. And then you start talking about other properties when they were looking for a house in Brickell or this and that. And it's really awkward. It's really strange. You guys are like interrupting each other. Like no one really knows what's going on. Then they tell you like, I already said this to the consultant. I already talked to Kevin or Day or something like that. And then you wonder why they don't close with you or why they ghost, why they disappear, right? Too late, too bad, so sad. Couldn't have said it better, Mr. Kim. So, we have to conclude that, hey, that lead sucked, and it's a conspiracy theory, or as he says, a conspiracy truth. Like, the lead was terrible. They suck, we don't, we need more, but we don't ever reflect on what did we do in that situation, what did we do in that call. And the whole point of the story is, a lot of times, as agent at Home 61, for leads on Zillow and Realtor, you don't really have the capability of listening to your calls. Here, we give you that capability to come into your appointment and listen to your calls. So make sure you make those appointments and start listening to your calls, whether it's a rental or sale, so you can really know how you did on that phone call. Because you guys are going to be surprised when you go back to this slide here and you legit sound like this. Because I've listened to a lot of the calls, and this is like pretty much what I concluded happened. And the ones that we do close were very different. And we'll get into how we're going to do it there. But I want you all to see what it felt like for a lead, right? Remember, you're not weak, you don't suck, you're not shit. The leads aren't terrible either. It just, the approach that agents, not only at Home 61 have, but anywhere, Keller Williams, Compass, Realtor, EWM, their approach is weak. And a lot of the top agents, they don't really work with leads, but I'm sure if Chad Carroll came in here and tried to work with some leads, he'd have a tough time too, because it's a different approach, it's a different mindset, and this is what we're all about here at Home 61, helping you approach those online leads and expand your business. So, let's start to strategize. You guys could all do it. So now we're gonna get into the strategy part of the presentation, right? Back to Gandhi, right? The internet leads aren't loyal. These are the assumptions you need to have about a lead from an online source. They don't care about you or your company or anything. They already talked to realtors, like the meme where the guy's with his girlfriend, but he's looking at the other girl. They're talking to other agents. You have to know that they've talked to them before. It's on us to win their loyalty. Asking them if they're pre-approved doesn't matter. I could ask you, are you pre-approved? And you might not know what that means, or you might say yes or no or whatever, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. They're gonna get pre-approved anyways if they need to finance at the end of the day, if they're a good lead and if you do your job. So asking them on the phone if they're pre-approved makes no difference at all. In fact, it actually confuses them and makes them, it scares them off. So we wanna not approach that. And I wrote a couple articles on LinkedIn about that. And then also, they just wanna see the property, they wanna see it now. And number 5 is really what I'm honing at here, and really what you guys need to get is your charisma, your confidence, and you guys taking control of the situation. Because when you get on the phone call and you get transferred in, hi, hello, how are you, blah, blah, blah. oh, I saw you were looking for this property. At the end of the day, if you had started the conversation more organized, took control of it, even if you only know their name and said, hey, John, hey, Mr. Kim, this is Anna Gallica from Home 61. I really love the home you selected. When can we go meet it? That's a lot more constructive. You can figure out all the stuff later. You want to show the lead that you're in charge, that you're dominant, that they can really trust you to take over the situation. And you are here and they're kind of there in terms of like the power, and you're telling them what to do, because at the end of the day, you're the expert. In a little excerpt, I was talking to a CEO from another company, and they were talking about maybe like realtors don't make a difference, realtors are overpaid, blah, 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 really talking crap about realtors and wanting to displace and disrupt the industry, getting rid of realtors by doing transparency in pricing. Well, now the pricing is pretty much transparent. No one's winning or like more money than what they normally are getting. Like we all know about 3% and blah, blah, blah. And I responded to him that if our agent's at Home 61, and if an agent closes a lead and provides a service that's really awesome, why shouldn't they not get paid and paid well for that, right? And this is true. If you provide a great service and you know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about, you should get paid and you should be making bank. Chad Carroll, the Jills, and Dora Cui, they provide an awesome service for their clients. They know what they're talking about, and they deserve to get paid. They're not overpaid. They're paid what the market is there for. If not, we can just go to a communist country, and then we want to do that. So that was what I was really wanting to get at. You need to take control of the situation. So in order to take control, there's a couple things we need to know. Sometimes you don't know this information right off the bat, and you're gonna have to really, think on your feet and not use it. But if you know the subject property, and the majority of us do know it from the robot that talks to us when we're transferred, I think with Zillow too, they kind of tell you what the property is, and with Realtor.com as well. Or you could also see it in the email at Zillow, Realtor.com, or Home 61. We send you an email, a text message. So you have access to that. Just make sure that you're always logged in on your phone to your portal. But the really, really, really awesome thing is, at Home 61, we know the subject property. And does anyone know more or less what I'm talking about when I say subject property for leads? It's on the board. Well, all right, so everyone's tried it. But the subject property is just the property that they came in and selected. So let's focus on that. I'm not sure if anyone saw the video I put about, it was like a selfie video, and I was like A, B, C, and if the roof goes down, just go, like, it doesn't matter, focus on that property. If the house has like 30 liens and violations and the roof is crumbling and there's weeds everywhere and a homeless guy living there, take him to go see it, because that's a perfect conversation starter of, hey, this is what you selected. I wanted you to kind of like see what you wanted, why it doesn't work, and now let's go to these other properties that are on lockbox if you have some time, and let me show you what I think would be a good option based on your interest and based on your price point. I think that that's a really good thing to kind of show them what it is. What doesn't help at all is when you try to get them to the subject property, you know that Anna Gallica comes to me and says, hey, Peter, I'm looking for a 3-3 in Brickell. And I say, hey, that's great, but I also have these other properties in Miami Beach and in Aventura and heck, in Palm Springs, California. Are you interested in those? I'm gonna send you 35 properties. So now Anna's like, doesn't know, she knew what she wanted at first, or more or less, and now we confused her. And it's happened to me as a client. Like, I've talked to agents in other areas of the world, hey, I want this, and then, oh, but you can't do this and that, but hey, I'm gonna send you all these other properties, and it confuses you, it confused me, and ultimately the client gets overwhelmed and ends up not buying. So we really need to not scare them off and terrify them, just focus on that subject property. I think everyone knows more or less how to get the subject property. When you get a lead, you get a text message, you get a link to the back office property, you can just see one of them that you selected, and usually like the robot will tell you. For other websites as well, I think in your portal, when they send it to you on ZillowRealtor.com, they tell it to you there. But wherever the lead comes from, focus on the first house they selected, and then from there, when you meet them and you're face-to-face, you could go and get going. But for the 30 seconds, that first 30 seconds of your conversation to work, focus on that subject property. And overqualifying them doesn't work. So we talked about this before, and I'm gonna keep repeating it because it's really, really important. If they have an agent, it doesn't matter. If they're pre-qualified, it doesn't matter. And don't talk about the other properties. I'm gonna keep repeating myself, but it's super important. You need to get off the phone as quickly as possible. You need to set the showing and go meet them. as soon as you can. Now, before at Home 61, it was the opposite. Hey, we should talk to them on the phone, make them our friends. Our kind of manual that's outdated does state that, so kind of ignore those parts. I tried to edit it, but I think we're going to Adams and I are working on a new manual that's a lot simpler, that reflects what we're training and what we've seen. Because when we started really analyzing who closed, when we started really analyzing what calls were successful and really tracing the closing back to the call and listening to it, those agents got off the phone super quick, set up the showing right away, met the client. So I really want to hone in on this, and I really want you guys to remember, get off the phone as quickly as possible, be dominant, set up the showing. Why? If they're not serious, if the lead's not serious and is kind of playing around or has another agent, is just messing around, they're not going to schedule a showing with you, or they're going to be kind of flaky and you'll know it right away. Second of all, the more you're on the phone, the less time you have to search properties and go on showings and close deals. So it's all about time management. It's all about probability. It's being strategic about your time and your efforts. Same thing with our consultants. Before, our consultants were spending 30 minutes on the phone call. Now we're asking them a couple questions and we want to get them in front of you guys, the agents, because agents know what they're talking about. A consultant that we outsource in Nicaragua or the Philippines doesn't necessarily know that. And their English might not be that great, or their Spanish might not be that great, so we're confusing the issue. Don't confuse the issue. Get off the phone, get the showing scheduled, and then send that video message, kind of like what I'm doing with the videos, and I always send it to you guys. My open rate is way better, and people are actually learning stuff at Home 61 now that I have a YouTube channel and videos, even though like the video's not that great, like the quality's terrible, my hair wasn't like crazy, got a haircut though. But anyways, video really works. It's 500 times more effective than a text script or words. So a 1 minute video is about 1.8 thousand words. It's a lot, 1.8 million words, by the way. So why 30 seconds, right? I really like this quote because in those 30 seconds, people judge you, right? So some of you were here before, I'm 61, and you know, in the summer, wearing the shorts, I had the hair all out, ripped shorts, like cool style, but then everyone else came in shorts and ripped hair, and it was a really relaxed environment. And do you think $1 million clients really want to come to that kind of environment, or big agents want to come to that environment? So we decided to change it up, be a little bit more professional, understand what it is, because you can have anything you want in life, you dress for it, kind of true, kind of not. But in this sense, it's true because people judge you in the first 30 seconds. When I meet you for the first time, I'm subconsciously judging you and you're judging me. Everyone does it, especially over the phone. They're gonna judge you. And you're gonna know how many times have you had a phone call with someone and you kind of knew like, this guy's smart, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's charismatic in the first 30 seconds. Like you guys kind of felt, you feel, there's certain people you feel comfortable with, like, oh, they know what they're doing, or people that you don't feel comfortable with. Like when you go to a restaurant, right, the waiter comes around, you know if it's gonna be a great experience or just like terrible. You can kind of tell who that person is. Same thing with your phone calls. Because people are going to be judging you on all of this on your phone call before they meet you. So when you do a quick phone call, when you focus on the subject property, when you schedule that showing, and then you follow up with a video text message right away, you think any other agent in Miami or any part of the country is really doing that? Probably 1%. So Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach, that whole area, that's around 90,000 real estate agents. 1%, so 900. Only 900. You guys could be that. Right here. First 30 seconds are super important. Remember that they're judging you, just like you're judging them if they're good or bad lead. We all judge them as well. So super, super important to stay on topic and to start your call dominant and to know what you're talking about. So let's go over the strategy overview. Focus on the subject property, meet at the subject property, and then send the video text, confirmation call. And then always have positive facts about the property. Super positive. Refrain from negativity always around your clients, because positivity makes people feel a lot better. If I'm here super negative, I'm saying, hey, we don't close to these, they're terrible, we only have this and that. Like, good luck, guys. Like, you guys suck. Good luck. Like, that's not gonna pump up your clients. But if you're super positive about everything, you have that vibe, you show your passion for real estate, you show your passion for working with clients and getting them the best deal, that's going to come off. They're going to want to work with you. This all happens in the first 30 seconds, so you need a game plan. Real Madrid, Barcelona, they all have game plans. Same thing with sports is the same thing with sales or any business. So be strategic, really think about your game plan. And you've got to take control. So how do you take control? Does anyone, I know I wrote it on the wall, but does anyone know how you would maybe take control? I've kind of alluded to it. It's okay. I don't bite. I don't judge. No one?
Proceed to talk about seeing the subject.
Exactly. But what should your first thing? You get on the phone, right? Bring, 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 bring. I'm connected to you. It's weird. I don't even know that you're on the phone, but I hear some kind of connection or something's there. How do you start your call? How would you start your call in a control-taking way, in a dominant way? So what would you bring, bring, bring? It's kind of, or like, hi, I'm Angelica, right?
Yes. Hi, this is Angelica from
Oh, yeah, keep messing your name. She gave us a lecture on how to pronounce her name, and I keep messing it up. It's terrible. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's like, hi, I'm Angelica from Home 61. Great property selected. When can you go meet? That's legit. All you need to do. You can figure out the other stuff later. Honestly, they don't want to talk to you. They just talk to Kevin or some guy in Nicaragua for like 10 minutes. They're in, like, how many of you guys like to be on the phone for so long? Hey, great property. Let's go meet. When can you meet? And then follow up with a video text message later so they see that, oh, this person's different. You're gonna meet at the property and have a great showing and some other properties planned out to go meet them. That's gonna give them a way better experience and it's gonna pump them up. Remember, buying a house is super exciting and it's very emotional. So if you're more positive and you're pumping them up and you're taking control, they're gonna automatically feel very comfortable with you. If you're timid and you don't really do that, they're gonna go somewhere else because they want structure. They want someone to tell them what to do. Remember, you're a salesperson. They come to real estate. If I work a job, 9 to 5, 8 to 6, I'm working on my family. You think I have time to go do CMAs and I have time to really know the market or anything like that, especially I just moved into the area? That's why I contract a real estate agent to do that work for me and provide that value. And while there's a lot of companies that want real estate agents to go away and they say all this kind of stuff, they've kind of failed and had to work with agents and brokerages because even with millennials and Generation Y, they need real estate agents. They want a real estate agent. They want someone to help them out because that's not their expertise. So really, really important to take control right away. And taking control is super simple. Don't overtalk because talking too much in sales is death. You'll die. How many of you saw the video I wrote where I like drew death down? You guys saw it?
It was a good one.
Awesome. And just please guys, just don't confuse them with other properties. Do that later when you meet them. Then you can go and talk about all the properties in the world and have it planned out. But don't do it on the first call. All right, so who wants to start closing more? Great. Currently, we're lost. We don't really have an idea. How many of you really analyze your welcome calls? Be honest. Really?
This week?
I know Sarah does because Sarah came in with Michelle. Yeah. And Michelle closes like an animal, so that's awesome. But a lot of us don't really have. Do you guys have a strategy for it, or is it kind of like, oh crap, call, man, I need to close. I want to close, right?
No, I have a strategy. Like right now, I have to write what I need to say. Boom, that's it.
Awesome.
And
And
sometimes
that's why you close though.
Yeah, but sometimes clients are like out of the blue, and you know you have to cut through them.
Yeah.
Sometimes they drive into somewhere.
So that's actually good. It's a non sequitur. It's kind of off topic, but I'm going to go into that. I saw a really cool article and a video on how to have a really good conversation. And I think it's also the same thing that you need to have with your clients, whether it's on the first call or second call, is to really be present in the moment and not be distracted and just like really be present. So once you dominate and you try to ask them to, hey, let's go meet that property, let's go do this, this, and that. If they come out of the blue with it, like genuinely try to listen and just listen and pause when they're done and then go in. Because that's a really good, it's kind of off topic, but listen, be present, don't be thinking about what you're gonna have for dinner or the gym or your fight you just had with someone, like really be genuinely interested in what they're saying, pause, and then either like talk about what they said for a little bit and bring it back to what you want to talk about, or go with it if it's interesting, because maybe they might allude to something like that. But the worst thing that you could do is either, and we all do this, like be spacing out. Some of you are probably doing it right now, like just because listening, your brain works slower than when you're actually talking. So you're probably, some of you are like, oh, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking about what I'm gonna have for lunch, dinner. Oh, did I turn off the gas? Is my stove still on? That all happens, but really when you're with the clients, really try to focus. So my challenge to you guys in the next 3 weeks is I really want you guys to schedule times with me to listen to your welcome calls. Some of you have, some of you haven't. I really want us to have a better strategy and really work together on that strategy. And I really want to focus on meeting the clients. And if they're terrible, don't stress about it. Don't call Adam and like talk for like 4 hours about this really bad experience. The best thing you could do is drop it. Because when you have that bad experience with that terrible client, why are you going to spend more time worrying about that client? You need to be prepped and ready and positive for your next call, for your next lead, to move on. Short-term memory is key. So I'm going to be sharing this presentation. You can click here, make the appointment. Right now it's just for Thursdays. Just to show of hands with people here, is there a better day to do it? Or if I were to go to one day maybe and work up north or down south and be in like a cafe or like a bookstore or something, and you can come meet me there to listen to your calls, with that work? Is there anything I could do to like pump you guys up and make it really easy for you to listen to your calls?
Is there a way to do it remote?
We might be able to do it. Right now it's a little difficult because like it takes a lot of back-end coding, and currently they're working on some stuff for the website and to actually get more leads and be more strategic and stuff like that for that. So like our bandwidth for that is not really good. So you need to either be with me. I can't like download the call format. That's in the works, but for now, is there anything I could do in terms of that, or maybe opening up a different day?
Maybe an additional day, so it's not just one day.
Cool. All right. Additional day. I'll show you the far. So I went down like near you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. I'll work on something. I'll work on something for that, and we'll announce it. So that's cool. All right, guys. So at the end of the day, if you haven't seen this video, Adam showed it to me last year, but I think it's super, super important. You just got to do things. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you need to do it, because people that do things in life are the ones that get stuff done. Don't worry about the small things. Like, you can fix those later. Just like go out there and do it. Look how bad quality some of my videos are. Like, I look tired. You just have to do it. Bring it on, and people love it. Do the same thing. A lot of reasons I'm doing the videos and the YouTube channel and the Instagram and all that kind of stuff and putting myself out there is I'm telling you guys to go do it. But if I'm not doing it, why should you guys do it? Now I'm doing it, so now you kind of have someone to look at, and we could be ridiculous together. But it's not ridiculous. People love it. So make sure, just try it. As soon as you get that call transferred, go right into your intro. When can we meet? You don't even, who cares about the property? When can we meet? Figure it out later. Go right into setting an appointment, and then follow up with a video text message. You could either do it by getting a YouTube channel and putting it up there, but I would actually recommend just like right after your client is on the phone, you come off, you open up this, you take a video, you come into selfie mode. Hey James, how's it going, right? I'm here with the group. We're super excited to meet you. This is just what I look like, so you know who I am. These are my friends, and we're gonna get you to that really awesome house. I'll send you more info in a little bit. See you tomorrow. Bam, and send it to them. That took me 15 seconds. If you mess up, if you sound weird, don't do another take. Just keep going and send it. You'll get better with time, and your clients will love it, and they won't care if you messed up or you sound like a kind of sleeper. So I hope that I kind of pumped you up and gave you a little bit of insight how to go with online leads. At the end of the day, whether they come from Home61 or Zillow or any other source, you just have to get off the phone as quickly as possible and meet the client. They pick the property, focus on the property, meet that client, right? So, do you have any questions? Yeah,
I have a client that I had today that wanted to see for Saturday too. Should we
any point try to move it up, or should we just always go with whatever they suggested as their
Okay.
first like time they want to see the property?
That's actually a really good point, because sometimes we have clients that are like, oh, I want to go see Saturday, Sunday, or a week in advance. I would say, where was was it close to where you live by?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Campus down
And how was the client when you got on the phone? Did you start the conversation? Hey, like, I live in the area. Can you meet right now?
there. I did not ask that.
Try doing that next time. So that might actually show, they might be like, oh, sure, I can meet, or meet later today. If not, if they're like, no, Anna, like, I can only meet, I work, I can only meet on Saturday at 2, that's where your video text message comes in to play. Because remember that video that I talked about death? That's that time frame, right? So now today is Wednesday. We have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday up to the time when we meet them, when they could flake out, find another realtor, go see the property with someone else. So really stay on them. I would say that you should do a video text message right now, do some more follow-up, and just stay on the top of their inbox and their email and in their text message with some interesting facts, or who knows. Like, they just need to know that kind of feel overwhelmed that you're there, because if they're serious about it, they will appreciate it. And if they're a flaky lead, they'll kind of be like, you know what, I'm actually not, they'll probably cancel on you because you're super overbearing, but they weren't gonna close anyways. So it's better to know that before you get stood up. So in that situation, I would say next time, kind of try to be like, hey, what's up? Like, when can you meet? You wanna meet today? I live in the building. We just revamped the algorithm a lot better, so now you're just getting clients near where you live, near your house, which is really awesome, because then you can use that tactic. Because like, if you live in downtown Brickell and you know downtown Brickell really well, and you live in one of the buildings there, someone wants to go see a property in downtown Brickell, hey, I live here, or I live in the building, or I have a property in that building, when can you meet? Like, can you be there in an hour? Can you be there in 2 hours? Like, you're in the area, you're the local expert, that's really to help. Oh, you're looking at Fort Lauderdale? Great, I live in Las Olas, that's a really great building. When can you meet? I'm here right now. Like, you wanna meet now, grab some lunch, something like that? Really try to get them to meet today and meet now. And if they have to meet later on, that's when your follow-up comes in. Video, text messages, maybe a call with some cool facts, something like that. Get them on your LinkedIn if they have one. Follow them on Instagram if they have that. Like, get into their lives. Like, you need to just go there and do it. It's not being a stalker, because remember, it's like, if you ever did, like, I know Anna, you do consulting, kind of business development stuff like that. When you're going and getting clients, or when I try to get like a partnership or something like that, they add me or I add them on LinkedIn, and there's a follow up and this and that. And a lot of times when I don't buy a product from someone, it just like, they set up the meeting for like 2 weeks out, or like a week out. I forget about it. I don't need it. I don't use it, or I find something else. So time is of the essence with these real estate online leads. But yeah, I would follow up today with a video text. Anyone else have any questions? Or anything with the lead maybe that we could help out with? Nothing.
I have questions that are completely off subject though.
Sure.
Like with credit scores and things like that. Oh, actually, something that's relevant to this. I had a client who was looking at a building in Midtown, and I showed her Midtown, but she was under the impression that real estate agents could only show like one area, and she ended up signing the lease with somebody on the beach because she was working with multiple agents. Would it have been better during our call if I asked her if she wanted to see any other areas or units?
So that's a rental. This was mainly geared towards sales. Now, if it's a rental, it's a little bit different. If it's a rental, yeah, you could probably ask that.
This isn't just go with all of it.
No, but a lot of the things we're talking about are actually pertinent for the rentals, right? Because for rentals, you could be a little bit more of like I'm gonna swear now and say like an asshole, in the sense that be kind of more blunt with them and be like, hey, like this is where like you can work with anyone, but I'm the only person that's gonna like get your deal done. I know how to do contracts, and a lot of times in Miami, people are pretty scumbaggy, and they're gonna try to get you for your deposit or this and that on the contract. So honestly, like if you're working with someone else for rental, I can't really help you, but I can show you everywhere, and I have access to off-market properties, which you do technically. So with rentals, it's a little bit harder. But that's why rentals, where I say don't aggressively filter, maybe you need to aggressively filter on a rental, but for a sale, don't aggressively filter. So you need to like figure out what your approach is and what your strategy is for both sales and rentals, because they're not the same. Rentals, but it's all about time management, right? So don't waste your time. So for that rental client, I just would have been more upfront and kind of screened them a little bit more. But sometimes that happens, you win some, you lose some, and it's just part of the experience, and now you kind of know how to approach that better. But yeah, that would be my answer to it. Just maybe you can screen them a little bit more if it's a rental.
I think the simple thing would also be is what we don't want you to do is suggest the documents. So that's part of the education of the client itself, right? So an easy comment can be simple. If there's any other areas that you're interested, please also let me know and discuss them.
Okay.
That way you're giving them the choice of telling you and not forcing them down the throat, oh, you should check out this and that.
Yeah, that's good for rentals. But for sales, don't even bring up any
Yeah,
other
don't even
points.
bring it up.
But for rentals, Carlos actually brings a good point. Don't start worrying them about properties. One of our big failure points when like we started this at Home 61 was we send out like 20, 30 recommendations. We got like people sending out 50 recommendations sometimes. What are you gonna do with 50 separate emails of 50 separate properties? Like, especially for a rental, you need to get them into a place now. If I were to approach rental clients in a smarter way, and maybe sales clients, if I were to do it, I would look for property managed buildings and just drop them off there and make sure they sign your name and they do all the work for you. Like we had this lady from the Hive yesterday come through, and she's like, yeah, just drop them off and make sure they sign your name and we'll do all the work. It just depends on what your client is, but if you could figure out how to get into those property managed buildings and into those pre-constructions or Lennars and those types of things, those are great. Because they do everything for you and you just can bring them a client. So that's another way to do it. But for rentals, honestly, this is my strategy for you guys. If it's a bad lead or they sound weird, like try to meet them and really try to go do it. And if it takes more than one or too much trouble, don't worry about it. Move on to the next one. Just be strategic about it. But if you're good at closing rentals, by all means, like close more. And like if you can't close a sale, but you can close all rentals, and take your rental closings from 4 to 10 and do 10 a month. It's a lot of work, but it all depends on your strengths and stuff like that. But the main point of it is, whether it's a rent or a sale, you still need to get off that phone call super quick and set up the showing right away. Because between the time when you click bye-bye and you meet the client, they're talking to someone else. Remember what Gandhi said on this slide? No. All right. That's what Gandhi said. They don't care about you. So I think if there's one thing to take away, remember this. Remember this slide. This is you. This is a lead. Sometimes though, this is the other real estate agent, and this is you, right? So you just need to figure out what it is. But you'll always be this coveted person if you provide the value, if you get off the phone, if you're not annoying, but you're actually giving them really awesome tips and you sound confident. At the end of the day, if you sound confident, you know what you're doing, and you really exude your passion, it's going to be there. So that's going to be a topic for another thing, because I'm guessing right now, I'll allude to what we're going to go into in a couple of weeks in my next article, but if I were to ask people right here, why are you real estate agents? What is one thing that you're going to say, right? A lot of people, oh, I want to make money, or I don't want a boss. Is it true? You guys want to make it? And a lot of times that's like a motivation for it. But I think it's really important to start thinking about why you love real estate. Why is it your passion? Aside from not having a boss and like uncapped commissions that you can make. So that's something to really think about, because that's what's going to drive you to put in those hours, drive you to make that one extra call, drive you to go do that extra showing, drive you to put those contracts in late at night, drive you to get better and grow and expand your business. What inspires you to become a real estate agent other than the monetary like rewards that you'll get and not having a boss? Those are perks to the business, which is awesome, but why are you here? Like for example, only reason why I'm here at Home 61, I mean, I like you guys are great, but what I really like to do is help businesses and now agents get better, strategize, and grow and make more money. I get joy out of seeing you guys grow your businesses and get better. My previous company, I did that with prepaid cell phone stores with an application that we created. So it really just depends on what your passion is, what it is. And each of you are gonna have different passions. Some might be, I really love architecture and design, and I love helping match my clients with the best home possible, or just helping my clients move, or I just like going to see houses. I love houses, something like that. Or I just love Miami. I just love staging. Like, I don't know. I love doing open houses. My parents were real estate agents. Like, it's gonna be different from all of you, but once you know what your passion is, then you can figure it out. So I actually challenge everyone. We have homework for today. And for those of you who are watching, your homework should be get a piece of paper and just write out what are you good at and what do you like to do, and then figure out how that applies to real estate. Once you know what you're good at and what you like to do, then you can apply it to real estate and really get going. Right? That's my challenge to everyone. I did the same thing. I was kind of like it's like what Adam's job is super hard because he has to hear all of you guys like calling him late at night. Like, it's really difficult. And I was doing that before we had Adam on board, and I was getting overwhelmed. And then before I was doing the videos, I was just kind of getting like, what am I doing? Like, why am I here? Kind of the existential crisis that I'm getting at. And so I just wrote down on a piece of paper, what am I good at? What do I like to do? And that's kind of when we came up with the Real Estate Sales Academy, Reza, on the website. I like talking to you guys. I like doing the videos. I like sales. And I know that I'm good at helping you guys strategize and grow your businesses. We've been able to do it. So that's a great combination for it. Now I really enjoy it. And now I'm actually putting in more hours and actually being more positive and giving out more energy. The same thing you guys could do. Once you guys know how to jumpstart that business again and really light that fire, you guys are going to take off. But you just got to do it. Don't worry about those hopes, right? Like, we don't care about them. Just move forward, keep chugging, and if you have passion, you're gonna do well. So that's my challenge to you. If you want to talk about it later, just send me an email, shoot me an email. We're always available, but that's it. Nice little quick 40-minute presentation. No other questions? I have like 10 minutes for off topics.
How would you like gauge like when to drop somebody? Like, what would be like a good, like, should I keep pushing or should I back out now?
Rental or sale?
Rental, resale, both. I have no idea.
Okay. I mean, for a sale, it'll be kind of evident. You should never totally drop a sale client, really. The last article I kind of wrote on our update was creating those monthly newsletters or something for your entire base. You guys get a lot of clients there. So for a sales client, you could drop them from our system, but don't ever drop them from your life. Once you get that contact, you need to work it. The top agents always keep adding people to their contact list, and they send out emails. What I've been using right now is a thing called Constant Contact, and if you want to know the pricing or anything like that, I can get that to you in Cyril, and I can help you set it up. It's super easy to use. I'm kind of technologically advanced, but I'm also very lazy. I don't like to read instructions, so I just kind of do things, and it works really well. But for a sale client that, let's say you get on the phone with a sale client, like let's take Anna Gallup client, Gilby's sales client. For example. So she's gonna meet them on Saturday. Oh, yeah, well, and then the client, is it a lady or a man that you talk?
Lady.
So the lady shows up with her husband.
Boyfriend.
Or her boyfriend. Boyfriend's an investor, knows his numbers, big guy, has an opinion on everything, and it's like, I don't know, like, let's do a single family home. Confuses your client, now you're going to go see single family homes, and just because the boyfriend messed it all up for you. So then you go on another showing with single family homes, and they want to put an offer, but then they're kind of flaky, and then they kind of ghost you. You could drop them from our system, but if you set up like an email campaign, not just specifically for them, but for all your clients or all the clients that are just like them, because you're gonna get a lot of those, and you constantly get in contact with them every month or every 2 months, just by putting them all in the BCC form, like the blind copy, putting them in there, and bam, you're gonna be in their inbox, and then maybe shooting them a text message once in a while. Hey, are you available? Like, are you still looking for a home? Do you need me to look at any contracts, something like that? That would be something that also would help. But for a sale client, you should never, and like Michelle's like a really awesome agent. She closes a lot every month, like 3 to 4 a month. more or less.
Just right now, I have, just the example that he has, a sales client, and, I only, messaged him through email. And then yesterday, he sent me an email, "Hey, Michelle, I'll be back in Miami, check for me, Airbnb for a month," and he didn't apply.
Yeah, like that's what.
And
like,
I dropped it.
Never, yeah, drop them from home 61 doesn't mean drop them from your life as a sales client or even a rental client. These are all opportunities to build your network. Top agents have hundreds of thousands of people in their network that they're always pushing to on all modes. So for example, to go back to the stalker mode of like, this is where like following them on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, social media, get into their life. Because if you're active on all of those like social media outlets, they're gonna see you and they're gonna be pumped up. Like, this person knows what they're doing. Anna Galisa, keep picking on you. No, but I said it right. Knows what she's doing. And Anna's a great example for that. Like Anna, Sarah, Emil, like, cause it's a steal, right? It's a steal. How do I know that? I didn't even meet you in your interview, but she's so active on social media. All right, look, YouTube. You guys are so active on social media. You respond to everything. You're always posting stuff. I'm reposting it. You guys are awesome. Like, clients, when they see that, they're like, oh crap. Like, you don't even need, like, Cecilia, you haven't even started and you're posting like listings and other things and stuff like that. Like, people think that you're legit. Like people don't care. They just want to see you doing stuff and putting it out there. And that's where, like, not dropping the client fully, but always being in touch with them as a sales client and as a rental client. When you drop them from the system, put them somewhere where you can keep in contact with them. Because at one point, if you are always out there and they're seeing that all the time and you're being that stalker, they're gonna come to you. Just like what happened with Michelle. Oh, hey, set me up with the Airbnb, we're gonna buy.
And he's Spanish.
And he's Spanish. You've been working on your Spanish?
And I'm working with my Spanish.
But we learned something with listening to Michelle. I'm gonna pick on you this one. Like, I was listening to Michelle's calls, and she's really, really awesome on her calls. But Michelle, you're from the Philippines, right?
Yes.
So she kind of speaks a little bit of Spanish because in the Philippines it used to be a Spanish colony. But it's not perfect Spanish, and she speaks great English. And then she's speaking to a bilingual dude that speaks both Spanish and English. Or Miami gets confusing sometimes. But she's like starting off in Spanish, going in English, doing all this other stuff. And we're on the phone call, and I think you closed that guy, but it would have been way better if you're like, hey, let's go meet. And you, like, once you know, then it will get better. But I really want you guys to like be more strategic and not waste so much time on the phone and spend more time getting the right properties for your clients, finding them those deals and meeting them. So that's going to be what's coming up. We're going to be talking about how to find deals and kind of reverse engineer the sales game. Another one's going to be finding your passion, but I really want you guys to actually write down a piece of paper. Now that we know how to approach the first 30 seconds, this is going to really drive you. What are you good at? What do you like to do? And then how does it apply to real estate? Because you're all here for a reason. And money and the other stuff shouldn't be on there because those are benefits of the trade. But money doesn't really matter at the end of the day because you're never going to make money if you hate what you do.
You cannot close your people.
And if you don't enjoy actually being a real estate agent, you're not going to make money because your clients are going to be like, this guy's negative and terrible all the time, like he's mean. If you really enjoy what you're doing, it's going to be easy to do the videos. It's going to be easy to do the posts. It's going to be easy to follow up those drop clients. So that's what I leave you guys with. But I still have 4 minutes for off-topic questions or topic questions.
Where can I get a list of those rental management companies that you said?
Yeah, Anna Galitza and James are actually working on a list that we have.
Yeah, we have like 20, 30, something like that.
We have a
It's
list.
just, it's kind of like we allow it so that agents can let us know of one that they want to have added to it. Because it has like the contact information, how much the commission expected, because that varies very much. Like Camden Brick only pays $250, and then you have some that pay a full month. And so we have all that in there, that information, the contact, addresses, all that stuff. So
I want you guys also to be aware of property management. Since they're doing most of the work, they are being invoiced. So the way commissions work on property management, so you invoice them, and then 30 to 40 days it pays, and you guys get paid. So you guys are aware of that. Some new agents don't know that. And after the commission moving date, and that's typically takes a couple weeks, sometimes months. That's up.
4 to 6 months.
Awesome, guys.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. I'm on top of that, communicating directly with whoever's in charge to get our money back.
Yeah,
We won't get
the way to get paid out is a little bit different on there. I'm just letting everyone on the live stream kind of see
Expectations.
who's out there. So I think that's kind of homework for us. So we'll try to make it look maybe prettier, the list, and send it to you guys and share it. If you guys have any other lists, like let's make it bigger. For the property management companies, let's go ahead and I'll try to figure out if we can do a list of property management companies too. Not property management companies, like pre-construction companies, but everyone knows Lennar. Lennar is a huge one. So you guys should probably get on that, and they play out very well with the commissions, like what we saw yesterday from the high, 5 to 8%. I would just go, if you have free time on the weekends or just today or whatever, just go to a Lennar development, go find the contact, go find the people, make a relationship with those people there. And if you have people that come into that type of price range, or looking for that type of unit, that type of house, go and do it. Good news is we're kind of have a shortage of affordable homes in Miami in like the 200 to 400 price range. But if you guys are down in Kendall, they're building one right by the Miami Municipal Airport or something that's down there. In Kendall, there's a huge new development that's coming up. Tamiami Airport. Huge new development that's coming up with like I think 10,000 homes or something. So super
I
exciting.
think it's a townhome, right?
Some are town. It's just like Lennar. Like some are townhomes and some are like 3-2s, stuff like that.
350.
Aventura has some new developments too that are really awesome. If you guys are up there in Aventura, Miami Lakes, that whole area is really cool. So it really depends on where you guys are. But like honestly, if you have free time, this goes with the passion that we're talking about. If you love homes, like Anna Galitza, I keep picking on you, but like a lot of her content that she does is just her going to different units and going to different open houses and networking and showing videos. I know you, Sarah, you do that too. Like you don't need a client to go do it. Go out there, network, make contacts, put yourself out there. People don't know you if you don't put yourself out there, right? Like now we're finally getting some traction because I'm starting to put like us on like out there, kind of like just putting my phone in my face and saying whatever I want to say that adds value to you guys. Same thing that you guys should be doing. Like Anna Galitza is awesome at that. You too, Cecile. You too, Sarah. Like you guys just need to do it. But that's why I said like that's our homework for the day. What are you good at? What do you like to do? And how does it apply to real estate? And then you'll figure out if you're able to do that. But check out Lennar, check out all those places. And when you go to those places, especially the property management companies too, make friends with the owners and the managers and all that kind of stuff. Because once you have that contact, that's gold. That's gold right there. One of our top agents, Christian Holub, actually like pulls those contacts out when he's with his clients, and the clients are like, wow, this guy knows everyone. And he actually gets deals done, woodling and dealing. Hey, we're actually at the Icon Brickell, but I have a client here. Do you have anything open at, I don't know, the name of the building in Brickell? The other Icon Brickell. Yeah. So something like that. Really think about it. Any other questions? Topic, off topic? Got like 1 minute.
She asked about credit score. I don't think you have.
Credit score for,
There's like a fourth.
That's just honestly negotiation with the owner.
yeah.
What's
Yeah,
the
don't even worry
association?
about it. Then you don't go there. You're
Yeah,
done. You're done.
Because I'm dealing with her scrambling, trying to find like co-signers, and it's like,
Yeah. So for those, it sounds really bad. I'm sorry, live streamers, if you hate me for saying this, but like sometimes like there are situations where you can't really control, and there's like only 1 or 2 places that will take those clients, depending on what their credit is. Now, if the credit's really bad, but they make a lot of money or they have good income, then there might be a way around it. But what you're kind of doing right now is, if it's a learning experience, that's great because you're kind of newer, but don't stress about it and don't focus 100% of your energy on that, because we want you focusing on the other clients that, remember, it's the probability that we put on the board, right? So you need to approach it, turn it off. You need to approach it by what it is. Like how many of these versus how many of those. Right now I would throw that under here. It's lowering your probability of like making money and closing. But throw it into your learned experience as a new agent, I think is what I would do. But once it gets into this like co-signer stuff and everything like that, like it's kind of hard to get out of.
It's not in your control.
Yeah.
You're just like, you need to do this and this to close. Okay.
And a good way to
Or wait
avoid
to
this,
find a new place.
how would you avoid this? That's my question to you. How would you avoid this up front? Now that you've been through the situation and you're like in the gutter right now, like trying to swim your way back up to land, how would you approach this next? Like, let's say your next client is bad credit. What are you gonna do in your first 30 seconds or your first few moments with this client to kind of show your dominance, knowledge, and let them know and kind of avoid the situation?
Well, I mean, she offered to have a co-signer, so I'm not too sure. Should I have not gone with that option?
No, I'm saying like before you even get there, like the next time, like forget the current situation you're in. But like right now it's annoying, right? That you have to deal with this like low credit client.
Yeah.
And now you have to deal with the co-signer and stuff like that. And or like have you gone on showings with them?
No, this is actually someone that was moving down from Atlanta. So she sent me all of her information to the consultant actually, and then she was like, I want this building, like I want to live in this building. But it's the association that's holding her back. And then she's like, oh, I will do anything to get in this building. So she started finding co-signers. The first co-signer, his score was like 678, and he needed 680. So I kept trying to call the association, see if there's any wiggle room or something.
No, I would honestly.
Yes, I always have a lot
Okay,
of
so
time.
for this one, the next time be like the association needs a 680. Find a co-signer just to play it safe with a 720 or 700 credit score, and we'll be good to go. Let me know when you have that information, and just like let it from there.
Draw the line there.
Yeah, and so that's your situation is a little bit different, but I'm saying if you're gonna approach these clients, let's say next time, and you get a rental and it's kind of like that, and they kind of know what it is, establish what the rules and the ground, like the ground rules are up front.
Yeah.
Hey, cool. They only take they want the same building. This association only takes a 680, but I know you actually want to be a little bit higher than that. So go find someone with a 700 credit score. When you have that, let me know and I'll get you in. Everything else looks good, but go do the work yourself. You really want it, I'll get you in, but I need this information. But when you start doing that kind of stuff, you're stressing yourself out. You're wasting your phone bill. I guess not anymore, but you're wasting your time on the phone. You're not ready to take calls from Home 61 or from other lead sources, so you're not being productive. You're being counterproductive. So next time for those clients, just draw the line, establish everything up front, and that is part of what we were talking about. Being dominant, really taking control, and showing them, hey, this is my profession, I'm providing value, and this is what you're going to get.
No, it's sorry. It's I don't know what's going on, to be honest.
There's
It's up in, like,
there's
Halton
hundreds
area.
with credit.
Yeah.
But 680 is high though.
So
There's buildings
for
that are
Miami.
720 in Miami.
Yeah.
Association is Westshire.
Like, they don't
Because they
play
get
around.
burned. They get burned pretty bad with people that have bad credit.
Yeah.
Remember, it's Miami,
Oh, yeah,
so.
the association is in so it's like a whole lot of calling.
I'm gonna stop the live broadcast, but thanks for tuning in.